Hello students, in this video we will learn what are hydrocarbons and the different classification of hydrocarbons. So compounds of carbon and hydrogen are known as hydrocarbons. That means the compound will have hydrogen as well as carbon atoms. There are various examples. Examples of hydrocarbons include methane, okay, which is CH4. Then you have ethane, which is C2H6. You have ethene, which is C2H4, and so on. If you notice over here, they have carbon as well as hydrogen. So these are known as hydrocarbons. Now hydrocarbons are based on their bonding are divided into three. Let's see what they are. So if you have a look at the chart in front of us, you will have a look that hydrocarbons have been separated out into saturated, unsaturated and aromatic hydrocompounds. Okay, under saturated you have alkanes with a general formula CnH2n plus 2, and under unsaturated hydrocarbons you have alkenes with the general formula CnH2n and alkynes with the general formula CnH2n minus 2. Under aromatic, the example given is benzene. So now what we'll do is under each one of them, that is, we'll check what are alkanes, and by putting this using this formula, what are the different type of alkanes do we get. Similarly, we'll do the same with alkenes as well as alkynes, and we'll briefly go through what are aromatic compounds. Okay, let's first go to saturated hydrocarbons. So the first one we have is saturated hydrocarbons, and under saturated hydrocarbons we have something called as alkenes with a general formula CnH2n plus 2, where N is the number of carbon atoms. So in this, carbon atoms are connected by only a single bond. So let's see how. So we'll take the general formula. Let's take N equal to 1 and we'll substitute it in the general formula CnH2n plus 2. Let's see what do we get. So everywhere wherever there is N, we replace it by 1. So we'll get, when N is equal to 1, it will become C1 H2 into 1 plus 2. Okay, and what do we get then? So C1 we can just leave it as C, and 2 into 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, so we get CH4. Okay, and this compound is known as methane. Okay, have a look at alkane. It is alkane, or plural is alkanes. So when you say alkane, it gets this suffix ane everywhere. Okay, let's take another example. N equal to 2, and we'll substitute it in this formula. This is the general formula to find out about alkenes. Okay, so you have C2 H2 into 2 plus 2. What do we get? Right over here, C2, 2 into 2 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, C2H6, and this is nothing but ethane. Once again, have a look at the suffix. This is known as suffix, something that is attached to the main word root. Okay, this is known as the word root. Okay, and to that, when you have something common kept attaching, means it keeps repeating. Okay, it's like an attachment, it's like a tail end which keeps repeating every now and then, and that is only symbolizing that it is an alkane. Now if we go to write this in structural form, this is how it will look. With one single carbon atom, you will have, I'll use another ring, you have C, okay, carbon. We know that from our previous videos that carbon is a tetravalent compound. Tetravalent means it has got 4 valencies. Tetra means, right over here, tetravalent. Okay, ENT. Tetra means 4. Valent is obviously referring to 4 valencies. Okay, so these are resembling the valence electrons. Now to satisfy, we need 4 other hydrogen atoms. So 4 other hydrogen atoms will come over here, and this is nothing but CH4. Similarly over here we have 2 carbon atoms, so C and C. Carbon has a unique ability to actually combine with itself with the same atoms. Okay, as in, for example, it can form long chain carbon atoms. The ability of self-linking, or the property of self-linking of an element, mainly in case of carbon atom, through covalent bonds to form long, straight, branched and rings of different sizes, are called as catenation. Okay, this is mainly possible because of the small size of the carbon atom, and also because of the great strength of the carbon-carbon bond. So carbon can easily form stable multiple bonds, either double or triple or single bond with itself and with the atoms of other elements as well. But over here we are really concerned about how carbon forms long chain hydrocarbons. For example, over here we have 2 carbon atoms. That means each carbon atom should have 4 bonds forming, or because of its 4 valence electrons. So one bond is formed over here, but 3 others need to be satisfied. So we have 1, 2 and 3. Okay, I can mark them in a separate ink so you can make out what I am trying to say. So 3 others need to be satisfied. Similarly over here, this carbon will have 3 other electrons that need to combine with any other element, or in this case the hydrogen atoms. So we will have hydrogen atoms coming here. Okay. So each carbon will have 4 bonds. 1 bond with hydrogen, 3 bonds with hydrogen and 1 bond with carbon. Similarly, this carbon atom has 1 bond with this carbon atom and 3 bonds with this 3 hydrogen atoms. And this is nothing but C2H6. Count over here. There are 2 carbon atoms, 3 hydrogen atoms here and 3 hydrogen atoms here. Total of 6 hydrogen atoms. So these are your alkanes. Next we have unsaturated hydrocarbons. Okay, the fact that it says unsaturated hydrocarbons clearly shows that in this case the bond, you will have either a double bond or a triple bond, either one double bond or more than one double bond, or one triple bond and or more than one triple bond, depending on where the bonds are and how long the chain is. So you have 2 different types of unsaturated hydrocarbon. One is alkenes and one is alkynes. Let's go to alkenes first. So you have alkenes, the ones with double bonds. It has a general formula CnH2n. So if we take n equal to 1 in this case and put this formula CnH2n, let's see what we get. So we have, in place of n, 1 will come, and in place of 2n, in place of n, 1 will come again. So we don't write C1, we just write C, and this will be H2. Okay, and this becomes your methene. In this case, ene is your suffix. Similarly over here you have ene, and alkenes is plural. And if you take n equal to 2, then it will be C2, and I'll apply this formula CnH2n. So then you have in place of n you will have 2, wherever there is n there will be 2. So C2, 2 into 2 is 4, C2H4, and this is known as ethene. Once again have a look, the suffix is ene. Okay, and if we go to structurally draw this, the structural diagram for we'll look at ethene rather than methane over here. Let's look at ethene. So there are 2 carbon compounds here. Okay, and there are only 4 hydrogen atoms. So remember one thing, carbon needs to have 4 bonds. Okay. Now the reason why it needs to have 4 bonds is because of the 4 valence electrons it has or it possesses. So in case of ethene, what happens? The bond formed between carbon and carbon is not single but double. Okay. Now if a double bond is formed with 2 carbon atoms, that means for each carbon atom there are only 2 more bonds possible, because of the fact that 2 electrons are already utilized in this double bond formation from each atom. So we have only 2 electrons left, so we can write them over here, and they will combine with single hydrogen atoms on both ends like this, and this will be your C2H4. Okay. In case of you have your ethene over here, this is how it forms: C2H4, 2 carbon atoms and 4 hydrogen atoms. Similarly, let's have a look at alkynes. Next we have alkynes with the general formula CnH2n minus 2. So if we take n equal to 2, let's see what we get, and use it in the formula CnH2n minus 2. Wherever there is n, we substitute it with 2. So we get over here C2H2, instead of n we put 2 minus 2, and we get C2, 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 2 is 2, so C2H2, and this is your ethyne. Okay, and we'll take another one, n equal to 3, use it in this formula CnH2n minus 2, remember this bracket, and C, instead of n it will be 3 now, H2 into 3 minus 2, we get C3, 2 into 3 is 6, 6 minus 2 is 4, so C3H4, and this is known as propyne. Notice over here how we have the suffix "ine", okay, rhyming with the suffix over here alkyne. Okay. Now the structural diagrams of alkynes will look something like this. We have our ethyne and propyne, and I'll draw both to show you all how it looks. So first let's have a look at ethyne. Okay. Now in case of ethyne, what happens is there's a triple bond formed. So alkynes have triple bonds. So if triple bond is formed between the two, that means there's only one more bond possible for each carbon atom, and that goes like this. Okay, so this is your ethyne, C2H2, as we get over here. Next, you can check for propyne. Have a look. In case of ethyne, I am using 2 carbon atoms. In case of propyne, we have 3 carbon atoms. So how do we use meth, eth, prop? We'll learn about their word roots, okay, in another video, where we'll also learn about how to use them with suffix, and if there is a prefix, how to use them with prefix, and about the functional groups. So these are functional groups. They are depending on the fact that whether they have single bond, double bond, or triple bond. We'll look at that in another video. Okay. So we have 3 carbon atoms and 2 of them share a triple bond. So let's put a triple bond somewhere. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Okay. And these 3 carbon atoms have to be attached to each other. So if there are 3 bonds between these 2 carbon atoms, so one will obviously come here and connect with the last carbon atom. Now have a look at this carbon atom. Does it need any more, or can it form any more bonds? No, because it has already formed 4 bonds, 1 with this carbon atom and 3 with this carbon atom. So there won't be any hydrogen atoms coming over here at all. What about this carbon atom? it has already formed 3 3 bonds. That means 1 bond is possible. So we put 1 hydrogen atom over here. See, hydrogen atoms contain only 1 electron, and it needs only 1 electron to satisfy its configuration. So it pairs up with the 1 electron remaining for carbon atom, because the other 3 electrons of this carbon atom have already joined with this with the electrons, 3 electrons of this carbon atom. What about this carbon atom? Okay, now it has joined with this carbon atom as well, but only 1 bond is possible, which means it has still got 3 other electrons which are available for sharing. So what it does, it actually shares it with 3 hydrogen atoms. And now we'll count the number of carbon atoms and the number of hydrogen atoms. How many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2 and 3. And how many hydrogen atoms are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we have C3H4 like this, and this is your propyne. Okay, so now we have covered unsaturated hydrocarbons. Remember, unsaturated hydrocarbons are hydrocarbons possessing either a double or a triple bond. When you have a single bond in a hydrocarbon and there are no double and triple bonds, they make up your saturated hydrocarbons, right? And now we have one just last one left to cover, that those are your aromatic hydrocarbons. The last category is aromatic hydrocarbons. What are aromatic hydrocarbons? Aromatic hydrocarbons are unsaturated hydrocarbons which have one or more planar 6 carbon rings called benzene rings, to which hydrogen atoms are attached, and they have a general formula. Just like how we had the general formula for the other hydrocarbons, the general formula over here is CnHn. For example, you have a benzene. Okay, a benzene, it is N equal to 6, that means a 6 carbon atom, so it will be C6H6, but it is in a ring format, so it looks something like this. Okay, it is hexagonal, okay, and it is either given like this, showing that it is cyclic in nature, or to show you that it is unsaturated. Why it is called unsaturated? It has got double bonds, so it will look something like this. Okay, this is how a benzene ring looks like. And then you have other functional groups that can be attached to it. Okay, so basically this symbolizes the double bonds. So you see this, it symbolizes the double bonds. If you just leave it like this, they are single bond, but with a ring inside, it shows you that it is cyclic in nature. That means they are like attached to each other in a circle. So this is how aromatic hydrocarbon looks, and the fact that it says aromatic means they smell very nice. Okay, they give out an aroma. That is why they are also known as aromatic hydrocarbons. Useful and number. This is part of organic chemistry. These are actually all that we have studied are organic compounds. And what are organic compounds? Basically, generally in chemistry we say those compounds which have carbon and hydrogen predominating, those are your organic compound. Okay, so in this we have covered the different types of hydrocarbons. I hope you have liked this video. Please click on the like button and share it with your friends and classmates. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and click on the bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.